So I went out to get some gasoline, and all of the gas stations are closed in Central Florida. And I just wanted to top it off. I got a little bit more than half a tank, and so be it. But I am noticing that every church that I passed by is kind of boarded up and abandoned. These harlots houses and prison houses, why aren't they opening their doors during this storm that's going to decimate Florida? Why aren't they pleading the cause of the fatherless and the widow? They certainly aren't sheltering them. And if they were pleading their cause, then judgment wouldn't be coming to Babylon. So these storms are judgment. Judgment begins at the house of God, and the entire house of God is apostate. So in the aftermath of this storm, there are going to be many people who probably repent after losing everything. They'll have their lives, but they won't have any of their possessions. And those that are grateful that they were spared will take hold of the covenant, recognize that they need to keep the Ten Commandments. Because when we break the Holy Covenant, judgment comes upon the land, and the people are tossed to and fro. So if you want these judgments to stop, people, you need to repent from your wicked ways. Repent from being a Christian and believing that all you have to do is say you believe and you're saved, but you're not saved by your mouth confession. A mouth confession in the New Testament, when you look up confess, it actually means in the Greek translation, it means to confess covenant. It's like taking an oath when you say you believe. It's declaring openly that you believe in all that was prophesied about the Messiah, who he is and why he came. He's that capital P prophet that Moses said would come, and he would finish the sacrificial law. He would magnify the Ten Commandments and make it honorable. He did that by living out his life in a way that was completely perfect, in perfect obedience to the Father, doing all things that the Father sent him to say and do and teach. Moses says this in Deuteronomy chapter 18. Peter says this in Acts chapter 3. All the prophets say this. So to believe on the Messiah isn't just to believe he existed, it's to believe that he is the culmination of all those prophecies, that he fulfilled the law and the prophets. That doesn't mean that the prophets' prophecies are completely fulfilled, because Yeshua Messiah only fulfilled the portion of prophecy associated with his first coming. He's coming again in judgment, in flaming fire with his saints, who will be declaring the everlasting gospel, which didn't just begin in the New Testament with some mysterious gospel that dispensationalists dreamed up that Paul taught. Paul said and taught and did none other things than that which Moses and the prophets had written. He declares that in the book of Acts 3 times. So today we've got people twisting the words of Paul, creating all kinds of doctrine, 45,000 plus denominations, and they missed it. If you love me, keep my commandments. I've come into the world to save sinners. But if you knew what this meant, you'd go and learn what it means. Hosea chapter 6, verses 6 and 7. He prefers mercy, the Ten Commandments, and not sacrifice. So you got to keep the Ten Commandments. And if you stumble, you've got an advocate between God and the Father, Yeshua Messiah, the righteous, who sits at the right hand of God and makes intercession for us. If you're in covenant and you stumble, you don't need a mediator between God and man. The mediator between God and man is Yeshua.